Hey, it's Joyce Conroy, host of the Block Party. Welcome back to Ernie's Corner. Today, we are going to talk about Captain Beyond and talk about a super group that had so much talent. Ernie Cefalu, it was two members of Iron Butterfly that were part of Captain Beyond.
Oh yeah, Joyce. It was an amazing group. I was a huge fan of Iron Butterfly before they reformation. They metamorphosed into, the Captain Beyond group. But it was really, I was a huge fan. Indigata Vita was our anthem in college. And, it was just, they were really groundbreaking. When I first moved back to from New York to LA to open up the office for the guy that I was working for, we rented a space, and on the same floor, right down the hall from us, was Capricorn Records, which was Phil Walden. And that was the Allman Brothers label. And they kind of knew who we were. We knew who they were, obviously. And so just being neighbors, we would always socialize a lot. And this is like 1971, for September, October of 1971. And they were new in town. They had just put the office of Capricorn in on Sunset Boulevard there. And so we started conversing back and forth and sort of partying together. And Phil used to manage Otis Redding. And he had some great backstories about all the stuff that he and Otis experienced during that time of, blacks weren't really welcome in places as much as they are today and all that stuff. And some of the stuff that the stories were amazing. And so he was a really nice guy. And I had met Lee Dorman there in the offices because Captain Beyond had rehearsed and signed a record deal with Capricorn Records, which was kind of a weird thing because they're a heavy metal band and they're on, a laid back Southern Allman Brothers. There you go. I had a little brain fart there. Allman Brothers label, and it was just kind of weird. It was like Kenny Rankin being on Little David Records. It was a comedy label, and he's a singer. So, but those kind of things happened, and so we became really good friends. And at that time, we were opening up the office for Craig Braun, and they would stop by and we'd party, and I became good friends with both Lee and Rhino. And Lee was really sort of the business guy. Even in Iron Butterfly, he was kind of running the show. And through them, I met Bobby Caldwell and Rod. Yeah, I met Rod, the singer. And so we really sort of together, we kind of created the image for Captain Beyond. They would share the music with us. We went to a lot of the rehearsals they had, and so together, mainly with Lee and us, he would sit down in the art department, and we would sit there, Joe Garnett and I, and we would talk about how the captain should look and what kind of his clothes he should be wearing and the environment that he's in. And you see this is actually behind me here is the comp. That's a comp of before the finished album was done. Joe Garnett did the illustration, and then once it was completed, we created that cap. And then I had this idea of using a lenticular plastic, which is the album cover here, and I created this lettering that was all circles and went on over this this bubble wrap kind of background and the lenticular plastic itself with the image of the Stones had done a cover, Satanic Majesty, whatever it was, and they had used a lenticular piece on the front of their cover as well. And so we did that, and then I also did two more albums for them, Sufficiently Breathless, which is the album along the bottom here with all the weird characters that you see. And then we did the third album there. The first album was the best one. Dawn Explosion, the last one, there had been some changes in the lineup, and, it was just a strange kind of thing. But the experience of working with those guys and, being a big fan of theirs before and then getting a chance to work with them, like I've said many times, I'm really blessed I was able to do that, and through all these, albums, three over the course of, I think we did the first one in 72 and then one in 73. And then the last one was done in 77 with a different lineup for the group and all that stuff. But, again, it was a great experience, and we haven't done that many heavy metal covers, and Captain Beyond was one of the first ones. I remember them coming to the office at Pacific Pioneer in the Crossroads of the World and brought the tapes from the recording studio and played them for us, and it was amazing. I mean, they were an amazing band who really what became a very intricate part of heavy metal. You know, just didn't get as big as Black Sabbath, you know, but, you know, a couple of them are still around, and, you know, that's all good. And, you know, I'm very, very blessed to have been able to be, you know, with these guys and with you, Joyce. It's really great. And being on the block, really feel like I'm getting it home here, very comfortable. Thank you so much. And, you know, for the songs, you know, there's two, you know, Dancing Madly Backwards and 1,000 Days of Yesterdays. Those two songs are really my favorites. So, you know, pick the one you like, or like you always do, play more than one.
Ernie, this is really something. You picked my two favorites.
You're kidding, really? And we never even talked about it.
No, they are fabulous.
You know, go ahead.
Well, you know, the neat thing about Captain Beyond, I discovered that they are still together, and Bobby Caldwell is still with them. Yeah,
well, he's pretty much the one remaining original guy, and you know, he's constantly. I mean, they tour, I guess. They're not, you know, anywhere out there in the forefront, which they should be. Bobby is an amazing drummer. I mean, I remember, you know, all of them coming when we're working on the art. When they were in LA recording and rehearsing, they would always come by Pacific Pioneer and check out. Even if we weren't working on something for them, you know, or they came into town, because Lee lived in LA, and I think Rhino was in LA as well, and Bobby too, I think, at that time. But they would come in and they would always stop by Pacific Pioneer. That was one of the great things that we had. A lot of rock stars, you know, Grace Slick, Alice Cooper, you know, you name it, you know, they had come by, David Bowie, you know, so pretty incredible. You know, it was an incredible time, and you know, again, you know, just really, it was an amazing time. And, you know, I don't live in the past, but it's always nice to, you know, keep my bearings by understanding what I had done. And, you know, like I always say, I'd rather, you know, rather than becoming history, I want to keep on making it. And that's really the key to creative people. You have to keep on making it. So many just do something monumental even, and then just coast. They live off that one thing. It's like being being an artist is very much like being a musician. You know, you have a hit single, and there's these one-hit wonders, you know, and then they just never have it again. And artists are the same way. You know, they do something very monumental, and then they never do anything that comes back up to that, and they just become history, and they become complacent and, you know, relaxed. But me, I'm exactly the opposite. I just constantly bulldog forward, looking at what's in front of me. And, you know, it goes like this. And when the internet first came out, I got a chance to look around and go like that and see what I had done, which was pretty amazing, you know. But you can't dwell on that. You have to keep current. You have to keep fresh. You have to keep in touch. And I hope I do. You know, I try to.
You keep rocking on, Ernie. God bless you.
God bless you too, Joyce. Thank you. And I'll be here on the corner next week. And hopefully the rest of the neighbors will come out and listen to me ramble on.